You died and are about to be reborn. Would you like to be the opposite sex or same sex as before and you keep all of your previous memories? What would you choose and why? Welcome to the House of Reddit. Hope you enjoy this video. You died and are about to be reborn. Would you like to be the opposite sex or same sex as before and you keep all of your previous memories? What would you choose and why? They do happen randomly. Much more frequent when going through puberty. My friends reported it happening more often than my experience. Some say it has been stress-induced, like during a presentation. Which isn't ideal. Most agree some are utterly random. If you can get away with it, some guys tuck them into their belt/waistband. The boner is easy to move towards the stomach and difficult to move towards the thigh. I've heard flexing your thighs can help alleviate an unwanted stiffy. Diverting blood flow or something. I definitely wouldn't say they are daily. Even as a 13-year-old. I highly recommend having a penis, they're fucking great. Also, if you don't want to wait till the next life, then I know a great Thai butcher/amateur surgeon that would be more than willing to give you an implant, as he said he doesn't use his anyone on anything but pigs' carcasses, so he'd be willing to help a girl out. Anyway, I hope to hear from you about this soon where we can arrange terms for if the surgery fails, though I'm sure you'll be fine. My mother always told me that she didn't remember the pain, that it was all washed away by joy when she held me for the first time. But I know she had a habit of lying about uncomfortable things, and probably wanted grandchildren someday. And since public school health classes didn't cover pregnancy other than "It'll Ruin Your Life" and that Miracle of Life video, I had to learn all about how my body would work during/after creating a life from the internet, as an adult. Stories like yours, and everything I've read on the topic of childbirth, have made me very grateful for my stepkids. Whenever my husband asks if I'm sure I don't want a baby of my own, I just remind him that I'd have no clue what to do with an infant, and that I'm already pretty occupied with raising/educating the kids already in the house. Older one just turned 20 and knows everything, and the younger one is sprouting armpit hair, so the last thing I need is a crying baby too. I'm happy enough being a guy, so unless in my limbo state I'm emotionally detached from the personality I had in my prior lifetime, I'd choose male again. While I wouldn't want to give up the memories of my previous lifetime, I consider that equivalent to death, and unless I'd get them back on my next trip to limbo, I decline any option that involves losing them. I don't see them being that useful. I could be a child prodigy until I reached adulthood and didn't have a significant advantage over my peers any longer. I'm not sure if that's a net gain, though. It could make my childhood far less pleasant as I wouldn't fit in with my peers, and set me up as a failure when everyone around me has massive expectations for me that I fail to meet. I'll save you the headache. It's like having sacks tied to your chest that slap you every time you try to run and get incredibly hot temperature-wise. I could be freezing cold in the middle of Antarctica, but my steaming boob sweat would keep me going until I found shelter. Additionally, if you go 1 nanosecond in public without a bra on, the creepiest guy in your vicinity will spend the remainder of your time in that area death staring at your nipples until you leave. If you wear a bra, the combined heat of the bra will leave you wondering what will melt first, your flesh or the metal bra wires jabbing into you. I'm only slightly exaggerating. I like being a woman but sometimes think it would have been easier to be a man. I guess I would have to live the rest of my life before deciding, like having babies and stuff. It also depends if I would be born in the same era. If for some reason I was born in Victorian times, I would definitely opt to be a man. Different sex for sure. The insight and other experience would make me able to be a really wise, interesting, cool person, with the added bonus of finally learning about the female orgasm, probably why other Redditors would choose this. It would be really weird already knowing everything as a kid, and maybe having more physical limitations could lead to sadness or something, but I would not hesitate to make the decision. I'm a woman and a mother, but feel those same burdens, for what it's worth, in their own way. Having to emotionally carry a family, having to be confident and compassionate, lovable and understanding, but the one difference is when I'm dying inside, I'm not taken seriously because I'm just an emotional woman. Your response is interesting to me though, because it made me realize men and women may have more in common than most think, but it would be interesting to feel the other side, and also feel safe alone or in the dark for just one damn night. Men, what made you cry? This is gonna sound dumb, but back in college I was totally alone. Had been through some bad breakups and found out my friends weren't really my friends. Every year my friends got together and rented a lake house for a weekend. They invited my ex-fiancée that year instead of me. She sent me a snap of them all sitting around, drinking and laughing, and said I'm here with all of your friends and then just laughed. I sat in my car and cried for a long time. When I heard my dad say why don't he kill himself to my mom behind my back after I opened up to them about my mental issues. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'm sorry that some of you guys had the same experience. It doesn't feel good. This happened about 8 months ago and after a long time of self-care, I've moved on. It's not the first time my dad did something so shocking anyways. Though he is my biological dad, I kind of see him as a stepfather, because my dad was in prison when I was born because of drug dealing and abusing my mom. Until I was 12 years old I never lived with my dad. I often visited him but I had no idea he was in prison. My mom just said your father is an important person so the police are protecting him and I fell for it. So I visited him quite often and saw him as my hero, someone I adored a lot. So when he got out of prison and started living with us, he didn't abuse my mom that much, but assaulted our pet toy poodle dog a lot. He threw the puppy against a wall, kicked him, and punched him. I was in despair. I begged God to please stop this madness. I was 13 at the time and from that day on I lost the ability to be affectionate and caring towards pets. I don't really like pets anymore. Fast forward 3 years, he came home drunk. My gut knew exactly what was going to happen. He started shouting at everyone, kicked the furnitures down and all. So at night, my mom came to my room to sleep next to me because she didn't want to sleep with him. Then at 12 a.m., he banged very hard on the door that was locked, and yelled to open. As soon as my mom opened the door, he yelled you steal my kids you bitch and slapped my mom hard. My instinct kicked in and started pushing my dad away from my mom. But I was pretty weak. So he kicked me right in the chest. I fell on the floor and couldn't breathe properly. Don't really remember what happened afterwards. But I woke up like it was a casual day. My ex just ghosted my kids about a month after moving out. I have them 5 days a week and she was going to take them a full weekend. They were excited, I was excited for them. Friday afternoon they're all packed, and waiting. Finally, eat dinner and get them in jammies, nobody is answering the phone. Call mother-in-law, some friends, nobody knows anything. Get kids calmed down and we watch a movie until they go to sleep. Soon as the last one is down, I went to the garage and cried like a baby. I had never seen them so crushed and it broke me and became one of those transitional moments in my life I always remember when I make promises to my children. I will never, ever leave them in a spot like that. My family always comment how I never cry and get upset. I've been to family members' funerals and never get upset. I'm quite emotionally hard and very much whatever happens, embrace it and turn it into a positive, aka get over it, unless someone dies, in which case your time's just up. When I took my dog to the vet and they told me he had a tumor and had to be put to sleep, it really affected me. However, when I was holding him as they did what they needed to do, I'd never felt an emotional pain like it. I was in tears for the first time since I was a child. My family think I need some serious therapy, that I'm more affected by a pet than a human. They're probably right. Sometimes they matter more than family. You might visit your parents once a week, if you're an attentive and kind child and they live nearby. Your dog is there every single day. Every morning you feed him. Walk him. Every night he kisses your face before bed. Every day he puts his face on your thigh while you sit at the desk and patiently waited for your love. A dog becomes more than family, it becomes your routine. Losing your dog is losing part of your day and part of your life. Every time you look at the empty food bowl, every time you see a lost toy sticking out from under the fridge, he will leave a hole in your heart that can only be shaped like a pet, some combination of best friend, child, and companion, all lost at once. Times I can remember crying in the past 4 years: 2016, when we let my dog go because of cancer; 2017, when my grandfather died; 2017, when my closest friend of 3 years killed himself; 2018, when I was struggling with depression; 2019, when my daughter was born; 2019, when I intended to commit suicide because I felt I could never be a good father; 2019 to 2020, sporadic moments when my inner demons get the better of my rational mind and self-esteem to tell me I'm not good enough / will never achieve my dreams / etc. So of 12 years and wife for 8 who I'm still desperately in love with, I'm leaving you. And I'm gay. Not bi. I'm gay. Everything we've had was just me discovering who I was. I'm in love with my best friend in Australia who I met on the internet 5 years ago. Remember? The one who you let stay at our house for 2 weeks while she took a vacation to the USA. We finally met and you even let us go on a trip together, alone. I swear we didn't cheat, by the way. Oh, the house we've been trying to sell for 3 years? We're going to have to just do foreclosure, which will destroy our credit. Well, your credit. I'm moving to Australia with 1 or 2 of our dogs and credit doesn't follow me there, and by the way, I've never been attracted to you. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Turn on the notifications to know when we post new videos. Thank you for coming to the House of Reddit.